Hey everybody, what's up? Today, tonight, tomorrow, this afternoon, this morning, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods, I'm hiding in a corner from my cat. A lot of you that have animals, cats, dogs, ferrets, donkeys, whatever it may be, sheep for probably a lot of you, uh, know that they can pass some incredibly stinky gas, clear the room out, boom, like that. So anyway, she's kind of following me around passing gas, which I thought was really nice of her. She's obviously glad to see me. Anyway, so I'm kind of just hiding out anyway. So I saw that Dave Palumbo was talking about Dorian Yates being on a YouTube channel interview, podcast or something, I don't know, but about Brandon Curry, the current Mr. Olympia, who won a pretty weak lineup. He won a pretty weak show. There were some guys probably that could have placed ahead of him. Yeah, but Curry wasn't in great condition, obviously, compared to a lot of the guys in the 90s, how they came in. And so Dorian made a point of that. I mean, he said that Curry wouldn't place in the top 6 in a 90s show, which I kind of disagree with a little bit, but I could see his point. It's kind of hard to argue, I guess. Anyway, I do think that Brandon Curry has the potential to be pretty outstanding, and he's already Mr. Olympia. So, but Dorian, you have to understand the guys in the '90s really freaking. I think the '90s were the golden era, the true golden era of bodybuilding. If you look at the names that competed in the '90s, the guys that were around. Guys that although albeit you had a few guys that dominated the show usually, but the lineups were pretty dense, pretty thick from top to bottom. So and strong, with quality competitors. So it's just, but the key thing about the *90s guys is obviously they did some pretty extreme things to remove water. And today's guys, I think, use a lot more of certain types. I'm not even sure what I could say on YouTube anymore. They kick your video off or block it, or they won't monetize it or whatever. But anyway, I think today's guys take a lot more of certain things that cause water retention. Some of you guys probably know what I'm talking about. But back in the 90s too, you have to understand, a lot of those guys are dead, man. They're like dead. They died young. I'm older now than, a lot of those guys were when they died, and I'm not that old, so I'm getting there, but, organ failure. I mean, you got guys that, got their water for days from fruit, just from eating fruit. That was all the water intake that they would allow themselves while they were, going on the tour there after the Olympia, etc. Just some crazy stuff, man. I mean, if you just do a little search on Google about the '90s guys that are dead or had serious health problems, it is pretty endless, man. So it's pretty crazy. So a lot of these guys today, granted, they're albeit they're taking some gigantic doses of some pretty heavy stuff. I mean, if you look at Dallas McCarver's supposed cycle he was on when he died, I mean, it's pretty crazy. But I made a video about that as well. But what do I think? I don't know, man. I just think '90s guys are definitely in better condition, but a lot of those guys paid a heavy price, paid the ultimate price, actually.